Matt here. This is my review of Bullet to the Head. This movie is directed by Walter Hill, and the movie stars Sylvester Stallone and Sung Kang, with Jason Momoa and Christian Slater. Walter Hill has worked on some pretty decent movies, including Geronimo and The Warriors, but he's also directed his share, including Last Man Standing and Another 48 Hours. And Bullet to the Head kind of falls in the same category as the last two movies, where they could have been really big and they could have been really good, but they just weren't. With the acting in this movie, Sylvester Stallone as Jimmy Bobo as a hitman, it worked, but only because this seems like the only type of role that Sylvester Stallone can do and still do well, because you can't put him in movies like Judge Dredd or Demolition Man or even Tango and Cash. You can't put him in movies in which there's a lot of dialogue, because one, I don't think it would fit his character given his age and his body type, but also he's kind of like Nick Nolte now, where you can hardly understand anything that he says. Now, the only thing I liked about his character in this movie is that throughout the course of the movie, he plays a hitman. So he's like the anti-hero, and I liked how his character stayed the same from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. Yeah, he did kind of build some respect for his partner, but I liked how he never, grew to love him. I like how his heart never warmed to him. I love how his character didn't become this, this good guy at the end of the movie. He stayed the same, and his personality didn't change, so I liked that. As far as Sung Kang, who played Han from the Fast and the Furious movies go, he really could have been played by anybody. I mean, his character really wasn't that likable. You really weren't rooting for any one of the characters in this movie, because the characters were there on screen, but their personality wasn't there. There was really nothing incredibly likable about him. So, his role was alright for what it was. Then you have Christian Slater in this movie, who unexpectedly came out of nowhere. Everybody hates on Christian Slater, but I think he's alright. He just needs to play a Jack Nicholson biopic, because he looks and sounds just like him now in his career. And then you have Jason Momoa as the main henchman for the bad guy in the movie, and he was actually my favorite part of the movie. He did a better job in this than he did in Conan the Barbarian, and I hate to say it, he did a lot better job than Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones, because his personality as the henchman was actually likable. He was funny. He wasn't just some big brooding, Jaws character from James Bond, where he didn't say a word and all he did was just beat up the good guys. He actually had some wit to him and some personality, so I like that about him. And then you have the bad guy in the movie, played by, I don't remember his name, but I call him Triple A. He played Adebisi from the show Oz. He was in G.I. Joe. He was in Killer Elite. He's in a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of weak. I mean, this movie overall, as a whole, stood up to the same quality as straight-to-DVD movies. I mean, Sylvester Stallone could have been replaced with Dolph Lundgren, and it could have been straight to DVD. That's how really bad this movie was. It could have been good like Assassins, and it could have been good, but it's just your average Cuba Gooding Jr., Val Kilmer, Dolph Lundgren, Steven Seagal type, cut, paste, formulas exactly the same. So it's really nothing much. And because the movie could have been huge, but it just was bland, from rating 1 to a 5, I'm going to give Bullet to the Head a 3. It's good to watch, because, there's some hot women in it, there's some cool action when it comes, but that's it. I'd rent this movie. Don't waste your money. So until next time, guys, see ya.